So in organic chemistry, not only do we want to know what reaction occurs, we want to know how a reaction occurs. And that's called the reaction mechanism. And so basically the idea here is that if we want to improve something, if we want to make this reaction better, or if we want to control it, we first have to understand how it works. And so what we're talking about here is just regular chemistry. And what I mean by that is non-nuclear chemistry. And so we're not changing the identity of any of these atoms. So regular chemistry is basically just forming and breaking bonds. And these bonds, remember, are made out of electrons. So with these mechanisms, all we're thinking about is electrons, electrons, electrons. And so we show the flow of electrons with arrows, right? Similar to the resonance arrows, but here we're actually showing what's happening with these electrons. And so keep in mind that your arrow must always start at electrons. And the vast majority of the time, the arrow ends at an atom. So there can be different sources of electrons. So for example, if we have A minus plus B plus, remember that this minus represents a pair of electrons, but whenever you have this negative sign, you don't have to explicitly show the electrons, and so you could form an A-B bond here. And A lost electrons, B gained electrons, so they're both going to end up being neutral at the end. There could be other scenarios, though. We could have a neutral A that just has a lone pair of electrons that then attacks B plus to form an A-B bond. And then if you think about the charges, B gained electrons, so it becomes neutral. A lost electrons, so it becomes positive. Electrons can also come from bonds. So in this example, a double bond. We could have the electrons in this pi bond attack this B to form a B here. And then, of course, there must be a positive charge somewhere. So this carbon here lost electron, so it becomes positively charged. And so you want to really understand these arrow pushing mechanisms, and you want to understand them pretty quickly. Take a look at the left, take a look at the right, think about the flow of electrons, see which bonds are breaking, which bonds are forming, and think about the formal charges.